Day. Activism begins with ACT. The Russ Belville Show features the stories of hardworking grassroots activists working for an end to prohibition in today's activist agenda.
All right, welcome back, everybody. 32 after the hour, and you can probably hear the phone ringing in the background as we try to get Stephanie Joynes on the line. She's with Moms for Marijuana in New Jersey. Well, I don't know what that obnoxious noise was. Sorry about that, folks. Still trying to reach Stephanie Joynes here. It seems like she picked it up, and then we got that obnoxious noise. So let's try that dial out one more time. Day 2 of trying to get to Stephanie Joynes. I don't know why this is so difficult, folks. It's just a phone number in New Jersey to be able to pop up here, right? Stephanie Joynes from Moms for Marijuana in New Jersey coming up on the line as soon as we can get an answer.
Hello?
Hello, can you speak to Stephanie?
Hi.
Hi, Stephanie Joynes, Russ Belville here from the Russ Belville Show. How are you?
All right. How are you?
Doing fantastic, and I want to thank you for being on the show today.
No problem.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about your organization, Moms for Marijuana in New Jersey. How did you find out about Moms for Marijuana, and what made you want to be a part of that?
I've been a Mom for Marijuana since 2010. I was asked to step up in July to become the chapter leader because the previous chapter leader had health issues and she could no longer do it. Gotcha.
Okay, so you'd heard about the group, and it seemed like something you wanted to be allied with. What was the motivating factor? I mean, why stand up for marijuana? Why put yourself out there and take that risk?
I'm from New York, and as you know, every 37 seconds, people get arrested for marijuana. That doesn't make any sense. So You get arrested for marijuana. You now lose the opportunity for education because the felony arrest, you're no longer eligible for federal student aid. For the felony arrest, no longer eligible to get that basic post office job. For the felony arrest, you're no longer eligible to live in those better buildings, and then you're stuck living in those worst neighborhoods because you have a felony arrest. Or for a plant leave, I got tired of seeing my friends and my family walking down the street and New York NYPD pull them over and stop and frisk. I just got tired of it. And, when I moved to New Jersey, I found out about Moms for Marijuana, and I liked them more so because they were grassroots.
Yeah.
They didn't pick sides. They didn't play two political allies. All they wanted to is re-educate people about the lie that we've been living for the last 40-something years.
Yeah. You mentioned the NYPD and the stop and frisk practices. We've been focusing on that a lot in our show about the massive racial disparity and the incredible amount of arrests that are going on there in New York City. We just recently had an election, and Bill de Blasio was elected mayor of New York. Do you anticipate that
Yes, New York, thank you for getting rid of Bloomberg, finally!
And so I was going to say, do you think this is going to help the stop and frisk? But I think I know your answer.
Judge Finland wanted to stop and frisk, but Bloomberg, before he left office, he just wanted to stick it to New Yorkers one more time and had her ruling overturned. Stop and frisk is very. I can't explain to people who don't live in New York how degrading it is. Do you know what it's like to walk down the block with your boyfriend and the police pull him away from you, push him up the side of a gate, fill him up, frisk him up, put him in handcuffs, all because he had a $10 bag of weed in front of your child, in front of your girlfriend? His mother's looking out the window. Do you know how degrading that is?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it is. All, and
okay, and it doesn't happen on Avenue and 34th Street and then on Park Avenue. It happens on University Avenue. It happens in Harlem. It happens in the Bronx. It happens in Brooklyn. It happens in parts of Queens. But it doesn't kid. So when that guy on CNN the other night was talking about it's for the good of the community, he's not from our community. He doesn't understand how, what is it, John Lyman? He said, well, I live in New York and I appreciate it. You're not from New York, dude. You don't know how degrading it is. Have John Lyman uptown in Harlem on 145th Street at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't think he'll be going on CNN talking about it's for the good of the community after that.
Yeah, no kidding about that. And this policy, this stop and frisk policy, the police commissioner has said he was going to do something about it, but nothing has happened. And one of the things, you mentioned how degrading it is, but it's also technically illegal. Marijuana is decriminalized in the state of New York, and the only way they're supposed to be able to go after you is if it's in the open. So what the cops do is they trick these guys, often young guys, to take the weed out of their pockets, and as soon as they do that, bam, that's what gets them cuffed.
Exactly, but honestly, they said now they're not supposed to stop you unless you're in the open. In New York, we're not stupid enough to walk down the block smoking weed. So it's still, that's the lie they're putting on their report. Oh, well, it was some suspicious activity and we found the weed. The suspicious activity is walking home from the train. The suspicious activity is coming out of the store. The suspicious activity is just minding your business and living your life.
Exactly. Well, the suspicious activity is walking in a certain neighborhood while brown. That's what the suspicious activity is.
Not in New York. It doesn't matter if you're brown. You could be Latino. It doesn't matter. In our neighborhood, as long as there's if you're a person of color, you're getting first. And if you're a privilege, you're not in our neighborhood.
Right. We're speaking with Stephanie Joynes. She's from Moms for Marijuana in New Jersey. And are you a mother yourself, Stephanie?
Yes, I have a 17-year-old.
Okay, so, 17 years old, he's right at that age where, kids are going to get stopped and harassed by the police. This is so that must be your major motivation for wanting to get involved with this, maybe just to protect your own family.
Well, I have a daughter, so not so much, but in the last 5 years since we lived in New Jersey, since she's been in high school, she's graduating this year. She has had countless friends have to cut their education short because they have to go into drug programs in New Jersey so they don't go to jail, or because one night they were hanging out and the police pulled the car over and they got caught with weed. So do you know what it's like when you're in high school and now your life is turned upside down because you either have to go in a drug program for a year or you have to get locked up?
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So they're ruining these people's lives. They're ruining these kids' lives even before they graduate from high school now.
Right. And then once you get that drug charge on your record, it follows you around for the rest of your life whenever you're trying to get, go to college or get a house or get a job.
Exactly. So basically, they're sabotaging you before you can even get yourself together.
Yeah. What is it like for you standing up as an advocate for this issue? Do you find people in the neighborhood understand what you're doing? Do you get any people that are against what you're doing?
Well, it depends. Like, my daughter is very supportive. My family is very supportive. I believe in medicinal marijuana because my grandmother died from multiple sclerosis.
Oh,
so my family understands how I feel about that. When I talk to people from my old neighborhood, I get kind of mixed reviews because there's people, the legal peddlers, they don't want it to be legalized because this is their job.
Yeah. And that's
basically
that's an aspect of this, I think, that that Moms for Marijuana and other reform groups need to pay attention to, is that, while we don't want people going to jail and we want to end the criminality of the marijuana plant, for a lot of people, especially people in the city, this is the only employment available.
Exactly. I think if we deschedule it and we repeal the current laws and we learn how to regulate it, more money will come into the economy that we can bring back manufacturing jobs. We can build our inner city with good paying, supportive sustainable jobs where their only hope is not bringing in weed in the street.
Yeah.
So we haven't had the opportunity to do this. I haven't, in my lifetime, it hasn't been legal. So I can't tell someone who's sitting on the corner selling weed, hey, give it a chance. You might get a real good job, because I can't say, well, in my lifetime I seen it couple with once legal and now it's illegal. I'm trying to get it legal again. That never happened in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm hoping once we deschedule it, we repeal the current laws and we come to a federal uniform regulation that the money that is being made off of it will go into the community to help build up the community, to bring good, sustainable jobs into the community. I mean, Walmart is not an option in New York City where there's no Walmart.
Yeah, it's a good point. And this is something that is the important issue, and it's something that we've been touching on in the past couple of weeks here on the Russ Belville Show, and that is just this racism that's inherent in this drug war. As you mentioned earlier, it's not the people downtown, it's not the people in Park Avenue that are getting accosted over this. It's people of color, and it's eroding the relationship, if there was ever a relationship, but it's eroding that relationship that your neighborhoods should have with law enforcement. I mean, there is still crime, there is still violence, and we want cops to protect us from that. But when you're afraid of the cops, if you're afraid of them at all times, you're not likely to be the one that wants to call 911 when something really bad goes down.
Exactly, because right before we moved in the Bronx, there was a problem when the unskilled laborers, the undocumented workers would get paid on a Friday. They were getting mugged. The police were saying, well, you need to report it. These are the same men that are getting stopped and frisked.
Yeah.
Really? They're going to report getting mugged after they've been stopped and frisked several times.
Right. And you know, people that don't want to call cops just because they're afraid that the cops, instead of trying to solve the crime you're calling about, are going to try to solve the crime they think you're committing. And that's just not good for our neighborhoods. It's not good for our communities. Stephanie Joynes, Moms for Marijuana, New Jersey. Before we let you go, I want to give you a chance to give people any contact information if they want to get in touch with you.
You can follow me on Twitter at mystuff09. You can like the New Jersey Moms for Marijuana page or Facebook.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers, because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.